Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever your time zone may be, Rando fans, to our speed gaming daily race for Link to the Past Randomizer, where we are going to see the adventures of Iris Isilpheus, GFE 12 Humbug, and Captain Annihilate. And joining me, Red Armor, on this ride is going to be Nils and Alex. Hi, how are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing good. How are you doing, Red?
I'm doing perfectly fine. We are going to have a super fast seed today because we are going to play Fast Friday, the open with boots and fast Ganon. So that means that we start with the boots in a regular open seed, and we don't have to beat Ganon's tower in order to access Ganon. The hole in the pyramid already is available to us.
And that is super great, because who doesn't like a fast seed, right?
Yeah, Ganon's tower takes so much time to beat.
And there's so many menuing you need to do in that tower, so there's where you lose a lot of time as well, because you need to menu a lot.
Yeah, that also means that for the purpose of chat, we're not gonna need, or we're not gonna be able to do the big guessing game. So
I mean, we might figure out a different guessing game where we might, need a second sword or something.
that's true. Yeah, or maybe like it's gonna be an Aghanim seed, and we're gonna have the blue ball guessing game.
That is correct.
And we are off with most of the runners starting in the sanctuary where the Quake medallion is, and bottom right, Captain Annihilate with Link's house just a big 20.
Well, we have 2 crystals in the light world, also a red pendant in Tarfera.
Indeed. 2 regular crystals, so no 5/6. And of course, as we start with the boots, we can pick up the bonk rocks right on the way. Tier 1 tree pole is 20 rupees, which is gonna come in handy in case we need some money.
And there's 3 bombs on the uncle, so Captain here is going to have a little bit easier time when entering Kakariko later on.
And lucky full magic drop here for both our top runners.
Oh wow.
GFE got it as well.
There's a 10 bomb pack in the chest at the uncle as well.
That was so fast I didn't catch it on any of the 3 sides there. What was on the lumberjack? Did you see it?
It was something red, so I think it maybe was a big 20. Maybe?
Possibly.
Well, hopefully it's something like that and not like a Canis Mario, so... GFE using those boots to get a bomb here from the rocks. So going to at least have a bomb going into blind hideout.
And on Captain Annihilate's stream, I did indeed was able to confirm it was of just a red rupee.
But that's good.
Yeah. That means at least for the purposes of the item on the Lumberjack Ledge, Aghanim is not going to be required. We find a blue mail in Blind's hideout.
GFE with the play there, getting bombs from Blind's hideout. Not needing to buy bombs right now, at least.
Oh, I thought it was a 0, not an 8 on Iris's side there. So I was like, why are they going into the shop without money? But they did have money, so all good. Stocks up on bombs. So we're gonna see the chicken hut while GFA is dropping into the well. Oh, and just to rub it in, Iris finds some bombs in the chicken hut.
And from the checks we've seen from the others, not many items here in Kakariko.
Oh yes, yeah. There's still several item locations left over for us to check, but you know, with each we check, the likelihood of there being a progression item shrinks, or a good amount of progression items rather. At least it's not a stack of Rico, as you know.
Yeah.
And GF the first to the south of Kakariko, we're gonna see the library and the racing game.
I mean, the library had good stuff, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, paper is made out of books, right? Or like paper is made out of sticks. So. And GF is going to do the blind racing game, figuring there was nothing in Kakariko, so the likelihood of there being something useful here, and it's not something useful. But
Yeah.
GF's gonna pick it up anyway for Zoro money, presumably.
Well, since Kakariko didn't really have anything, let's hope that South Shore here got some progression for our runners.
Indeed. Let's see if everybody is going to follow GF's footsteps here and is going to make the play into South Shore, or if somebody makes, say, the Eastern play, or tries the front of escape.
There's a sword at least.
Yep, sword in the dam. So this is a good start at least. We have a weapon. And looks like Iris is deciding to make the check on Uncle. Might also dip into the front of escape here.
Ooh, baby, there's a flute. So another trip back to Kakariko later on.
Oh yes, that flute of course will put Death Mountain access into logic. Of course, we can't really do much on Death Mountain just yet, but it's there. Oh, GV, careful there. That Fighter Sword Dash does not kill a Mini Moldrum.
Yeah, Mimolers is like, yeah, special kind of enemies. Hey, there's a lamp, so old man on the mountain as well. Being able, we can pull him out now.
Yeah, that check is not in the logic. Everybody would probably be able to do it anyway, but in the dark. But of course, with the lamp, that is now in logic, and looks like Captain Lionlight is making the dam into desert play here.
I like that play actually. There's at least I've noticed that there's a lot of progression sometimes in Agina's cave. So maybe
personally,
we'll find something good.
Personally, after finding the flute, I'm not a big fan of doing this after the dam, because you can flute to 6, check the ledge, and then do Agina's cave.
We got the boots.
Yeah. And GV is gonna activate flute here. not mini Ice Rod Cave has only 20 rupees as well. And it looks like Humbug is setting up a water walk here, while Agina's Cave just 300 rupees. Well, it is money, you know. We can use that money.
I mean, it's Sora money when Sora is actually in play later on, but I'm pretty sure everybody will kind of, maybe fake flipper when they go down and check out the Ice Road Cave.
Mm. Yeah, you'll see some runners are gonna put off Ice Road Cave because you can just flute to 8, and that's a bit faster.
Red mail and 5 rupees in Waterfall Ferry.
Yeah, so far, I mean, we found a little bit of stuff, but we don't even have Aghanimmax. It's like we have more access to Aghanim than to Dark World, but yeah, we're still like missing key items.
So we don't really have a lot to do right now. We're starting to run out a little bit of locations, but we still have Eastern Sarashala and the mountain right now, and of course the castle.
Yeah, the castle, indeed. We haven't seen any of the checks in the escape except for the uncle, and of course the eastern area.
Iris here has the rupees for Zora and setting up a water walk as well, so we might see Zora soon as well.
Old man? I did not catch what it was, but it didn't look important.
I don't think it was important because I don't saw it either. I didn't see it.
And Iris gets their red mail. Is now fully protected.
Ooh, there's a glove inside Spectacle Rock.
Yeah, that's one of those like more pain in the neck checks. Just arrows on the Zora ledge, so we're not gonna need that. But we're gonna see King Zora while GV picks up the glove.
There's a mirror on Zora today, so not a scammer today.
Yeah, this is actually, a useful item.
Pretty interesting that Iris now has the mirror, so when Iris goes up to the mountain, she will be able to get her glove, and also check out Hera as well.
Yeah, that is very good routing. This would actually be like, unless we find the flipper somewhere where it would have been accessible without finding the glove.
Ooh, there's a Master Sword in back of Escape.
Yeah. So doing the fake flippers, unless we would have found the flippers or another glove before, that mirror would have required going up Death Mountain and going to Zora. Only then can we go back up to Death Mountain to do Tower of Hera.
Yeah, it's a pretty annoying location of the two items. But as Chad is pointing out, that Master Sword puts Aghanim in logic right now, but you don't want to do that without, like a Moon Pearl before going there.
There's of course always the possibility. Now we have the flute in the mirror. There is the possibility that we might find Mitz and the Moon Pearl is in Checkerboard Cave, or we might find the Moon Pearl on the pyramid. So that also be a pain. And the old man just had a blue bee, so it was indeed just trash.
Of course it was trash, because it's the old man that somehow went lost in a dark cave without a lamp. So
I bet those bats nibbled the wiring apart.
I mean, it could have been like that.
And Iris is, however, going not up Death Mountain, but rather opts to do the front of Escape. Well, actually, no, she has the mirror, so she doesn't need the Death Warp. Might actually just mirror out and then do the back as well with the Dark Cross combined.
Yeah, I actually like that Iris is doing this before going up to the mountain again. Well, going up to the mountain, I would say. She haven't been up there, but might find something else that's maybe a hammer and all that good stuff. But however, Iris is using that key to check the backside.
Most of the runners have picked up the glove first, so opting to do the Dark Cross through the back of the skate rather than the front.
Well, there's a Bombos medallion on Hobo, so we actually have 2 medallions already.
Yeah, that's good. We're not if Meyer and or Turtle Rock are crystal dungeons, we're not going to have to do a medallion hunt, or at least unlikely to have to do a medallion hunt. Of course, either is still large, but 2/3 there basically.
Yeah, I mean the game couldn't be that bad, right? Or could it?
I mean, I've seen it sometimes where like there's medallions and they're both red herrings, since the 3rd medallion that is required for entry for both of the dungeons.
I guess that's what people would say is the fun part with rando, that you think you're safe, but you're really not safe. It's going to be interesting to see who would go to Aghanim before checking out Sora. Could be interesting to just see if anybody going for Aga very early on here.
I mean, you don't really want to do Aghanim without having the Moon Pearl, so unless we find it like right now. Oh, well, hello there.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice spot.
It's it's convenient. Red sword, red mail, red shoes. This early on, man. And I saw a Dark World map check there from GFP. I saw a red crystal on TR and 1 on Swamp Palace, if I'm not mistaken. And I think I saw one of the pendants in like the top left section, but I didn't catch what it was.
Yeah, that was so fast that I couldn't even tell what was on that map.
And Iris is playing the old man, the song of her people.
Oh, there's Titan's Mids up in Tower Bear.
That is... I mean, that doesn't open much, but because we don't have the Moon Pearl, but it does open a more... that does... Once we do find a Moon Pearl, we have Dark World access, for starters.
Yeah, and it opens up Checkerboard Cave, like you said, which could have the Moon Pearl, and also Desert Palace, which we could beat.
Yep. And Humbug, however, is making the plunge into the castle tower here.
This could either hurt him, or it could be a saving grace. So I guess we'll just wait and see.
Yeah, Humbug did not... I think Humbug did not go to Zora. Yeah, has red mail, so Humbug definitely did the water walk.
He was like lacking just a few rupees from checking Zora.
And of course, to note is that with the glove, Zora is in logic. So this mirror that we found is fully accessible. So let's see here. We did not see what the medallion here was. I
think
actually,
it was Quake.
Yeah, I think it was Quake as well. It definitely looked wavy. And GFE is setting up the Super Bunny glitch here with the Maya Shed. If you get damage boosted into the door, you enter Super Bunny stage, and that means you can open up the chest.
Oh, back of Sarashla. In Sarashla saw that there's Butter Sword and the Ice Rod.
Meanwhile, GFE finds the shovel and the book in the Maya Shed. So this is still out of logic. We wouldn't need the Moon Pearl for that, but it's gonna be easily accessible for most runners once we do. So Ice Sword Hunt not gonna be much of an issue either.
I mean, the sword situation is not looking bad either. Like like we got Butter Sword of like 19 minutes.
All right, so that checkerboard cave Moon Pearl is not happening this seed. So we're still on the lookout for that Moon Pearl.
I guess there's only Desert Palace and Eastern right now that we're getting our, checks on. And there's first just Moon Pearl.
Iris just took a second there to think, should I continue or not? Probably, but besides, yeah, no, I'm outsies. Of course, with Eastern Palace being a crystal and us not having the bow, you kind of don't want to full clear it and then have to double dip it just for the boss.
But here comes Iris play into Aghanim.
Yeah. Meanwhile, GFE is still going through desert. Has found one of the items, which was a small shield. So unless, I mean, we do have Dark Will access, but it might still be that Aghanim might be required for the access to the hammer.
Yeah, it could still be like there is the hammer in Pod or on Catfish, so
yeah.
You can never really rule it out at this point.
Yeah, we don't have any way to access the Eastern Dark Worlds just yet. Of course, with those myths, we can access Dark Death Mountain, and we can access the western half of Dark World. So that's a lot of checks that GFE is not gonna have to do. Or rather, is not gonna have to do Aghanim for. So.
Ooh, half magic on Pyramid Ledge. That's pretty good.
Yeah. A very nice convenience item. I also like the bunny sprite of Yoshi.
Yeah, same here. I love that one.
And finally, a runner after my own heart using the Ice Rod. Iris here in Aghanim Tower. Knowing full well the Ice Rod kills blue guards in one shot. We will have Captain Annihilate clearing out the rest of Eastern Palace. And GFE taking on Lamolas, so a lot of diversion. Looks like Humbug is trying to do the fake flipper to Hobo and or Zora. Looks like Zora.
Iris taking an unfortunate death here in Aga Tower.
I think Captain Annihilate did the death warp, yeah. GV has to be careful, but takes down Lanmolas. Just a heart container. And it's a Sank heart.
And it's also the first crystal of this race here.
Indeed, GV the first one to draw blood here.
Looks like Captain is also going for that play here of Aga.
Yep. Where is GFE going? Oh, GFE is also gonna fake flipper somewhere. I don't know where, but somewhere. think Jiffy did. Oh, just fluted to 2 and is gonna, instead of saving quitting, it's just gonna pick up the King's Tomb here, and then it's probably gonna. Yeah, there's nothing in there, sadly. Jiffy's still holding out that it's not gonna be Aghanim. We'll have to find that Moon Pearl in Eastern Palace.
And he's going to the Eastern Palace area now, so we'll be happy to find that Moon Pearl.
Oh yes, because that opens up the Dark World for GFE, and it looks like I was right. It was Swamp for and Swamp Hotel Rock was 5/6. Green Pendant, Skull Woods, and Misery Mire is the other pendant.
I would say that's pretty good, like, locations of the pendants, I would say.
Yeah, it's all 3 2-item dungeons are, well, 3 of the 4 2-item dungeons rather are pendants. So, and other than Mire, those pendant dungeons are easy and fast to clear as well. So, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
If there is something in there, it's not going to be much of a problem.
GFE did not check Eastern Palace and is going to go and do. I would guess it's Aghanim for GFE as well.
Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, I think GFE has not done Front of Escape yet, so we'll go through this. We'll get those bombs and that gold sword, and then probably mirror over into the Aga Tower. So even though GFE had like the opportunity to not have to do Aghanim, it looks very likely that GFE will be doing it as well. Somebody in chat. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Somebody in chat asking what the goal of this seed is. So, we are playing Fast Ganon, which means it's an open seed, or like it's an open with boots. So we start with boots, regular open start, and Fast Ganon means it's a 7/7. But as you can see here on Iris's screen, the pyramid's already open, so we do not have to do Ganon's Tower.
Iris?
I guess Iris thought Fast Ganon means Dark Relaxes equals being able to fight Ganon already, but finds out 7 crystal.
Yeah, I don't think Iris was that happy when she looked at the sign of.
Iris was frustrated enough to bomb the sign and forget the pyramid check there. We'll be picking up that half magic though. Iris is not very happy about all this.
Yeah, I think Iris was like, we just need to go get my Dark Relaxes and we can just beat Ganon, and not today.
Oh, GFE's fluting out of the front of the castle, so is gonna go into Eastern and is gonna find a Moon Pearl, but is basically last locationing it. So
yeah, at this point it's pretty much the same time as just doing Aghanim, so like the others did.
Mm-hmm. And of course, GFE might still end up having to do Aghanim after all, so it's not out of the picture just yet for Hammer or Flippers to access Eastern Dark World.
And we don't have any bottles, so if this is if pot is, yes, it is.
Oh.
So pod is Bolocked. That's the word I was looking for.
Mm-hmm. Well, chat bringing up the current jump with splash deletion. That is true. We can access Eastern Dark World doing those glitches. That said, it would still be out of logic. So, you know.
Well, let's see what Skull Woods got for us. GFE that has the most, like, can find more items here because of those mids. Let's see what we can find here.
And meanwhile, Iris is checking out the catfish. Just some money. Lots of money this seed.
We almost back up at Sora money again.
Yeah.
Nice setup there from Iris for that fake flipper here. Using that portal that takes Iris to down here.
Indeed. And it looks like we're getting a pet check from GFE.
Yep, pet is dead.
So now with Humbug going to the back of Sahasra, now all 4 runners have the 4th sword. So we're very well equipped already.
Yeah, we got all the swords and all that stuff, but we need a few more items here.
Yeah, we still need a whole slew of items. Game of Samaria, Fire Rod, Flippers, Hookshot, Bow.
One thing that blocks us the most is that hammer. We can't really do a lot of stuff without that hammer at this point. And did we see all the items in Tower Farah? Or did we only see one?
I know that the mitts are down here, but I didn't catch if there was a second item. I know nobody who went to Tower Farah actually killed the boss, so... I see Graveyard Ledge here. And I assume GFE's gonna mirror over... I don't know, GFE already picked up Kingston. Did that earlier.
Let's see if Graveyard Ledge does have something. And there's our first bottle.
And comes with a free blue goo, too. That's nice.
Yeah, that's some good stuff right there.
Oh no. Iris. She dropped in exactly that spot on the little switch that would result in you falling onto those star switches.
Yeah, that's unfortunate when that happens. Okay,
Yeah.
there's our second item. It's just 10 arrows.
Iris quitting out here. And Captain Annihilate also finds those 10 arrows. Seems like they decide to continue, though. Maybe thinking, in case pet is required, I'm just going to kill the boss real quick. It's not that much of a time loss.
That or it's just like, it's fun to just use your butter sword on good old Moldorm.
Also, just for the joy of murdering Moldorm.
Yeah, like that's like the best stream, right?
And GV is making the plunge into Thieves Town. More items to find here.
And there's the hammer. And first just off Thieves Town.
Well, you'll just know that some of the runners will put off doing Thieves Town without a hammer. So it's possible that some of those runners are gonna, not be able to find it for a while. We also found a second bottle there.
And this also makes that item is totally not required to see it.
Yeah. So we 3 of the runners here on the restream did Aghanim for nothing, basically. All for different reasons. And Iris is not happy about finding that shovel and book. I think just finding out that she needs all 7 crystals just has made her so angry that she's frustrated at everything.
I think Iris might be even more frustrated when she finds out that item was not required.
Oh yes.
But that hammer in Thieves Town is going to open up a lot for these runners right now.
Oh yes. Let's see here. I mean, Darknet Mountain has already been on the menu, but is even more so now.
Can just go and do all the hammer pegs and smith chain while we're at it, and just a lot of more stuff is just open for us, and it's really unfortunate that I think just the way this seed has been, like for the other runners with the whole mirror and just like one glove up on the mountain, you don't want to go up to the mountain too many times.
Hmm. We're gonna get a secret check real quick. Hot container. Looks like that hammer in Thieves Town wasn't even required to access every item. The small key apparently has locked itself away once more again.
That's a nice feeling. Like I mean, even when you got the hammer inside a dungeon, you don't want to like miss out on your hammer, but Nice blind script from GFE getting down blind, and we got a fire rod.
Ooh, so Thief's on absolutely the value today. A crystal, a hammer, and a fire rod.
Yeah, that's pretty loaded Thieves Town, if I may say so.
Oh man, Captain Annihilate got annihilated by that roper coming out of that Skullwoods entrance. It jumped right into him.
Yeah, those are pretty rude, I have to say. They're not a friendly enemy.
Oh yes. They do a whole ton of damage, and even with the red mail. And looks like Iris is continuing with Ice Route strats here, killing Lamolus with it. That is the more or less intended strat for him.
I love the Ice Rod, like on Lamolas. Makes it so much faster, like
Oh yes.
even if you just play vanilla.
Yeah, the shots fly a bit slower than the fire rods, but you can spam it to hell and back, whereas with the fire rod, you can only have 2 shots on the screen at the same time. So GFE is gonna take the plunge to take on Mothula here. With the gold sword, Mothula's kind of a bit of a chump.
Just 4 hits, and that's it.
Yeah. And also very cooperative pattern there for GFE.
I mean, shouldn't you have like the bug net before you take down Mothula?
Yeah.
Because it's a bug. So, I mean,
The net of insects bane. So with that hammer, we now have access to all of the Dark World. We don't really need to worry ourselves about anything else.
and that's such a good feeling for our runners. Just find that hammer. Sure, it's for some it's like a little bit later, but you don't need to like run around and be lost for a while. Just like you said, like many people don't want to dip into a Thieves Town without the hammer.
Yeah. And GFE is going to do at least the digging game. Not sure if they will pick up the Smith as well.
I think they will. They can't have the Smith when doing this, so they're just doing digging games. So the digging dude is
Yeah,
not
I mean
Yeah.
afterwards, doing the. I assume GFE is gonna do the South Dark World route, and whether or not they pick up. It looks like they're gonna pick up the Smith though.
You have the mirror and all that, so it just makes it so much. Just get it out of the way.
Yeah.
Maybe you get your bow here. Maybe.
If those frogs are or those dwarfs are Fletchers, I'm gonna call you a witch. You know that?
Well, that wouldn't be the first time you would call me that. So.
Heart container in the hammer packs.
Okay, I'm not a witch today.
You're lucky this time, Nilsson Alex. I'll get you someday. And GV picking up the purple chest is going to give it a world tour. We're probably going to see Stumpy K45, possibly Bombus Tablet as well while we're already in that area.
I think the GV will most likely check Bombos since he has the purple chest with him.
Yeah. And also the probably the Dick spot as well. I assume GV is going to mirror over.
Well, there's your first shield.
Well, we already saw one of the shields, actually. That was on the Desert Torch.
Oh, right, but I mean, like, the first chest you, like, if you want to pick it up. Which you don't want to do.
Why would you?
I mean, it's extra protection, right?
I mean, what does the plastic shield actually protect you from? Like the Moblin spears and the guard arrows, and that's about it, I think.
I honestly don't know.
Speaking of arrows, just some of those in the Dick spot. And Stumpy also not paying out. What a jerk. Oh yeah, Octorok rocks. Man, see that? See that fast 3 times. And I think GV just used that that invisible chest glitch there. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is the time you can just run instead of, you know, walk slowly with the chest behind you.
Mm-hmm. And the Bombos tablet. Man, all these one-off checks not paying out today.
Again, Hype K was not hyped as well, so the main question is where is the other progression we need?
I mean, Dark Death Mountain is still wide open for us. Other than that, though,
I think they, like you're saying, I think the mountain is where we need to go right now.
Yeah. Since we do know Pod is ball locked, thanks to Iris's check earlier. I think we're pretty much out of any other checks.
At this point, yeah, we're out of checks unless you want to like sequence break into Ice Palace, which only has 3 items. So
yeah, why would you sequence break into Ice Palace?
I mean, some people might want to do it.
When you can go to all of Death Mountain, you have all of Eastern Death Mountain and Dark Death Mountain open.
I think GFE is going to do Pyramid and Catfish first.
Might go for Pyramid, then dip into Pod, and then Catfish.
Yeah, something like that. But we're going to get our first check on the mountain here from Hamgog.
I'm gonna see a Sparrow Cave. Yeah, so ice glued to the top right here because this is where the new information is coming in. While the other runners are retracing each other's steps with Iris and Annihilate going for these overworld checks while GV is doing Catfish and possibly going to try and dip into Pod. GV does have a whole bunch, actually has 4 bottles, so I I know some of those contain potions, so could do the bottle glitch if so desired.
Yeah, I think it's hard to tell. It got a mirror out, so we'll probably not do that.
I mean, could float to 5. It's probably
Yeah, that's
faster
true.
than walking back.
The lower part of Paradox Cave just containing nothing right now.
Or upper part, depending on which perspective you look at.
Oh yeah, true. More trash in the first 2 up here.
Man.
Red boomerang, 10 arrows, and oh my god, blue boomerang as well.
What an interesting game today.
I mean,
Rupees, rupees and boomerangs of all colors.
Well, we got all the male upgrades, we got all these swords and all the bottles. Now we have all the boomerangs as well.
Yeah, we won't see all the shields, but we know where 2 of them are, so we're only 1 short of all those as well. And if you're remembering, hey, I got the book, I can do Ether Tablet as well here. And we're gonna see what the rock requires. Bombos. So looks like we're not gonna need Ether today. So we do have the medallion we need, or medallions rather we need.
And we have 1 check here. We can that is actually in logic.
Yeah, the bonk of this lower chest here you can bonk over to. It's a bit tricky, but you can do it. And the hookshot can logically be in this. It's not today, but it could have been.
And Humbug is going to pick up there. I think it was a blue cane up on the floating island up here.
That would put the Spike Cave also into logic then. Which is probably going to be Humbug's next destination.
I think, he hasn't checked Super Bunny yet, right? Yeah, okay, it's coming here, so...
No, okay, has not. It's going there now. Yeah.
I mean, at this point, it's either here Super Bunny, Spike Cave, or maybe Meyer, to be honest, the progression.
Yeah, Meyer is on the table, isn't it?
There's the Flipper, so that puts Ice Pals in logic.
That is, if I was in Humbug's shoes, that would not be an item I want to see.
I guess that also puts Swamp Pals in logic, except Argus, because we don't have
we can't do the backside of Swamp Pals. You really don't want to do Swamp Pals with like hookshot. That's like really gross.
Yeah, I would not go there, but I've seen the hookshots there multiple times, so...
Yeah, that is true. And Spike Cave holds nothing.
Of course, the mountain has been complete trash this seed.
Yeah, it's true, isn't it? Well, I mean, except for the mitts and gloves up in Spectacle Rock and Hera, respectively, but other than it, yeah, it's not really.
So here's the fun part, like Humbug is going to go down and check out this area. I think actually Humbug is going for that Meyer play right now.
I'm not sure, Humbug has not done Shed in Checkerboard Cave, so it might just be like those... might just mirror over to do Desert as well, since Humbug has not done it.
I forgot that Humbug...
Actually, wait. I saw 2 crystals in Humbug's inventory there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Humbug actually did Desert Palace.
Okay, well, in that case, yeah. But has not done, at least not done like those flanking things.
And Iris is not happy this seed.
Yeah, Iris now finally finding a hammer.
So we're going into Ice Pals with Humbug here without Hookshot and Samaria. This could be luck between both as well.
Oh yes, that is true. The key logic in Ice Palace might end up being laid out so that you would have needed Kano Samaria or Hookshot to get to respective sides. But I'm sure a runner of Humbug's caliber knows how to do both of the bomb jumps.
Oh yeah, most likely.
Is Jiffy trying to cover?
I think he's going to do it. Or it's like at least attempt doing it.
Well, there's
There's
a
a
big.
big. So we can at least check the big key chest and the other one, the freezer room.
Yeah. And after a couple of attempts, Jiffy decides to not continue any further. With all those bottles Jiffy has, opts to, just go for it rather than picking up that Burna.
Yeah, you gotta burn those potions on something, right?
Hmm. I really dislike this hellway that Ice Palace hellway that Humbug is in. The conveyors are such a pain.
It's not the most friendliest room is in this game. It's got a few spikes.
Yeah, with that conveyor, it's really obnoxious. Especially because the conveyor also changes directions. So, looks like Jiffy is on Humbug's heels though. Humbug is still missing that required Bombos medallions off of Hobo. But now with the flippers, might attach that like right after this.
Can see another bomb jump here.
Yeah, this is the one bomb jump you don't see all that often, but Humbug pulls it off.
Yeah, it looks like Humbug have done that bomb jump a few times.
Oh yes, set up just about perfectly. I think that is the first item that we're finding.
Yeah, I think that's the first. Yeah, I don't really see us have done anything else, like seen any other chests with items.
Yeah, I think so far we've only found big key and dungeon items and small keys and. Compass and iced tea. That's a pain because that's the one room you kind of don't want to do.
Yeah, that's yeah.
That's the one that's like specifically very out of the way.
You just don't want to do it. Like you'd rather just get all the items in the other side, but not this time around.
Right, so these last two remaining items will have to be in here. There's one, and the last one is either be in the big chest or on cold stair. It's a cold stare.
So Cold Stare is going to be pretty easy to deal with half magic and butter sword, so it's not like it's going to be a lot of issues here.
Yeah, of course, if we didn't have half magic, we would have to have a full magic bar to even break Cold Stare's shell with the Fire Rod. Because a full magic bar is 8 shots exactly, which is exactly as many as you need for Cold Stare. Unless... that's it for Humbug's case. Jiffy would have been able to do just bombos. Save some magic there.
And there's Cold Stare down, because that is how easy it is when you have butter sword.
Yeah.
And there's a cave.
We did see Bumper Ledge, though, and I remember that not being anything.
That was nothing at all.
So all of this Ice Palace was just garbo.
Yeah, so that pretty much puts like only Swamp Palace or Mire that's going to have progression, since Pod is blocked.
Yeah. And Humbug is gonna pick up bombos there. So yeah, the question is, which pendant dungeon do you want to do? Oh, actually, Swamp is a crystal dungeon. Oops. So, do you want to do a pendant dungeon with 2 items, or do you want to dip Hookshot-less Swamp?
To be honest, I would prefer to not do any of them right now, to be honest, but I guess I would actually go with... Mire could be pretty fast to do, because you don't have a Cadence Mario, so...
You know what I just realized? We haven't seen Sahasrara either yet, the Green Pendant.
Oh, right. We haven't. I'm going to say this is a pretty interesting seed so far, because we don't really have a lot to work with.
I mean, we do have a lot to work with, it's just that it doesn't really help us right now.
Yeah, it's like either do the, like you said, the pendant dungeon with only 2 items, or you're going to go in hookshotless into Swamp Palace, and it's not a thing you want to do. Like, you don't want to make those decisions, right?
You know, Chad rightfully pointing out, you know, for being a fast Ganon seed, this is actually a pretty slow seed.
Yeah, it's definitely not a fast one. That's
Yeah. That was a very, like, so far a very stringy kind of chain of items. Very linear.
There's Cold Stare down for GFE as well. 3 crystals for GFE.
And Mothula are gonna go down on Humbug's side in just a few swings with that butter sword.
So, Green Pendant, Swamp, or Mire? What would you do?
Forfeit?
That's a really good answer. I didn't really think about that.
Joking aside, though, I would probably do what GFE does and like do the Green Pendant hand in, and then see if I maybe can ball a glitch into Pod.
I think this is like, it's a good play to do because you get a lot of checks done real fast here, but I mean, still feels like a weird seed so far.
Oh, it's definitely a weird seed.
Oh, Green Pendant has the hook shot.
So that's
well,
2
now
out
you
of
do Swamp
3.
Palace.
Yeah. So that is 2 out of 3 pendant dungeons required to be dipped. We need the green pendant out of Skullbones, and we needed the glove out of Talavera. Oh man.
Well, I mean that opens up a lot.
Luckily, Humbug is also kind of, smelling it and is like, I'm gonna hand in this green pendant real quick, and then I'm probably also thinking about bottle glitching and pod. But we'll find the hookshot here, and I have access to all of Swamp Palace, which of course is, a lot more attractive than half of Swamp Palace.
Well, I did not see that one coming with a hookshot on Thrushala.
So what could trip up our runners for to have to go into Mire? Maybe like Vanilla King of Samaria?
I was actually about to say that. Vanilla Cane of Samaria.
But the likelihood of there being something in Mire, not that great. That the hookshot opens up not only Swamp Palace here, but we also have access to the remainder of Hookshot Cave, which is also 3 items.
And we only lack 2 items, to be honest. The bow and Cane of Samaria.
Yeah. The good thing about Cane of Samaria being one of the last items is that there's been no Trouble Rock dips so far, which can lose a lot of time. That's that the bow might be in Trouble Rock, which, not unusual. Was more of a 30 thing, but,
I mean, I'm not going to rule out anything because I've seen a lot of bows on that laser bridge. Or in Mimic Cave for that matter. It's pretty interesting to see Humbug being this close to GFE, even though that Humbug actually did item.
Yes, but GFE did last location at Moonpearl,
Yep.
and was like, doing a lot of Dark World stuff before like getting any progression.
well,
Well-
there's Cane of Samaria.
Hello
So
there.
bow and Turtle Rock now, I guess.
I mean, it's possible.
Or you just end up, finding your bow here.
That is true, yeah. That bow could be basically anywhere that isn't Pod or the Armos Knights. And even then, one of those bows could be on there because it would be like the what would be Logic Lead and the Silver Arrows, the second bow you get.
We haven't found a single dungeon item from Swamp, right?
We'll see that in just a moment on GF's side here. It could have been the God Swamp, yeah. I did not pay full attention, to be honest.
Nope,
Yup,
not a
you're
single
right.
item.
It is a
Nice.
God Swamp. Nice. You rarely see that, but it feels so nice when it happens.
Well, hopefully there's an item here on Arius and not something else.
Oh yeah, that could be too. That would
Oops.
be. Oh
Yeah.
no. Well, that was a commentator's curse, if I've ever seen one.
Well, I mean, I think he's not going into the left side swamp at this point, GFE. He got the
But
mirror
one
out
item,
on.
yeah, probably not. Considering there's 2 bows and, you know, there is a whole Turtle Rock to clear.
Yeah, TR feels more like a better play to do in this situation. And also, like you said, there's some 3 checks in Hookshot Cave at the same time.
Yeah, so basically we're gonna check up the under the doormat, see if maybe a bow is in there. And if yes, hooray, go mode. If not, then, you know, Turtle Rock does have 5 items plus the 6th one in Mimic Cave. Plus, of course, beating TR opens up Pyramid Fairy as well.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about the Pyramid Fairy, to be honest.
Yeah, so that might be a French vanilla bow. GV is gonna check Hookshot Cave first. Is a bit faster, and if the bow is in there, then you know you're in go mode. So worth spending those few seconds.
No bow in here, but great to have Hookshot Cave finished.
Just found 1 tip of Eris's arrows and some cash, and some arrows in retro mode, but the bow.
Well, there's your bow. GFE is at 1 hour, 10 minutes, and like 28 seconds in go mode.
Well, that was that was a very, very merciful bowl. But yes, we are in go mode. GFE just needs to clear those 2 crystal dungeons in the eastern area and this dungeon here, and you know, can go mode pod, which is kind of nice, and can just has to walk to the boss in eastern. And like go mode Turtle Rock is not that much faster depending on the key layout, which is looking, you know.
Oh yeah, right now it's looking pretty good.
Yeah. We got the big key, so we can skip lava chests at least.
Well, at least pod is, like you said, it's easy to put go on that one because like it's big key in the first chest, so it's like just go over to the other side and get your small keys.
Yeah.
On the bow light side.
And then you can just hop over and down, and you're done. That Ching Chump eating that Samaria block.
Time for Iris to go and get her green pendant here, so we can get our hook shot as well at the turn in. Let's see if there's a small key on Laser Bridge, because we sure need another small key here.
Yeah, if there's no small key on Laser Bridge, then the last small key is in the big chest. Unless Jiffy opened it and I missed it.
He skipped the big chest.
Okay, yeah, so if there's no small key on the Laser Bridge, which is possible, then Jiffy will have to go back for that. Well, Laser Bridge keeping us suspense. Okay.
There we go.
Suspense alleviated. We found a small key in the last chest. And Jiffy on to Trinex here. You know what's cool about this being fast Ganon is, considering that everybody's gonna have Pod and Easton as the last dungeon, they can just walk over to the pyramid. Or, well, actually, in case of all the runners except for Jiffy, they can just save and quit to the pyramid.
Yeah, that's where Humbug can save a little time.
Yeah.
Since they're like, Humbug and GFE so close together that that could be a difference maker.
Yeah.
So, since Iris haven't been happy with this seed so far, do you think Iris will be even happier when she finds her hookshot on Sarashalo?
Oh, she's gonna blow Saharsala's up into smithereens. She has 11 bombs. How many do you think she's gonna lay on the guy?
Probably all 11.
And considering this is like Iris just about last locationing this without dipping into mire or swamp first. Like that would have been the only other check she would have had. Okay, well she's not blowing it up.
But using Quake.
But she's destroying it regardless.
Extra few bunks there after using Quake, so the whole building is just falling apart later on.
And Laser Bridge giving Humbug a little bit of a problem here. So, Pot here for GV, as mentioned, just mirrors out and is gonna go to the right side here.
There's going to be at least one small key on this side. I think maybe two. I don't really remember the logic on this dungeon.
Well, the front part has 6 locations, and at least four of them have to be small keys. Since one of them is already, like, one of those was the big key, there has to be 4 or 5 small keys left, and the likelihood of there being the second item in the right side is very small as well. So we will easily find a bunch of small keys here.
Which is good for GFE, so you can just go and get helmets. Or there, well, there's our first shield. I mean,
of course, as I said, there's the likelihood of there being an item, the second item being right there. You know, It happens.
And of course, it had to be a shield since we like ignore the others.
Oh yes. But at least we know where all the other shields are, so, you know. So Humbug is basically on GV's trail here. Taking that bow to Pod, Eastern. Let's see if GV decides to do Pod or Eastern first.
I think if I were Humbug now, I would just do Eastern, then do Pod and save and quit.
Yeah.
But we're doing Pod before.
Well, I mean, there is also, like, you know, the chance that Pod, like, one of the checks you do while go modding Pod has, like, the silvers in it. So the Armos Knights are a bit faster.
Oh yeah, that's true.
That would be, like, my thought here, that maybe you want to prioritize Pod over Eastern. Down goes Kalmasar, of course, with the gold sword. It's just a couple swipes and it's dead.
Pretty much free. Like, pretty much all the other fights in this seed has been, so since we had, like, Butter Sword of the night 19 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, most of the runners had Tempered Sword within, like, 15 minutes. Gold Sword a little further in. Yeah, so basically, Humbug is like one pod behind, or like one Gomod pod behind GF, which is, you know, not that much.
That's going to come down to the execution on Ganon later on, between these two. I mean, with Butter Sword, I think the only thing is, like, when you were, like, in the last phase, since we're doing silverless, it just comes down to who's better doing silverless.
Yeah. And of course, actually, now to think about it, Humbug does make up a little bit of time because GF did never do more in Eastern than getting the Moon Pearl, and I think Humbug full cleared it, so has the big key. So GF will have to find a big key, which is where Humbug is gonna make up a little bit of time. Not all that much, but
that's like a little bit time that he needs to catch up on. So that's pretty good for Humbug.
Yeah. At least if I remember right, Humbug did all of Eastern.
I do believe that, or maybe not. To be honest, I don't know actually.
There's that big key for GF. Might pick up the big chest on the way. See if there is silvers in there. Nah. I would have done it because I'm weak and bad, but of course somebody like GF doesn't really need silvers. Anyway.
I wouldn't say you're weak. I think you're playing. You're doing it by logic. You need the silvers, right?
I mean, it is a matter of the fact that I can't do silverless. Like I know how to do it on paper. It's just like executing it is.
It could be a nightmare sometimes. I 100% agree with you.
Almost here for GFE.
Okay, Humbug did not full clear.
Easton. Yeah, only picked up the
Eastern.
Moon Pearl and then mirrored out then.
But that's the last crystal for a GFE.
Indeed. Chat, we're not gonna do Ganon start big guessing game. I mean, you can guess if you want to, but you know, it's not gonna. You're not gonna see what's gonna happen because you know we're not gonna go to GT.
I'm pretty sure they're like guessing the teleports we're getting from Ganon.
Oh yeah, that could be too.
I think at this point, I think it's pretty much up to GFE to. This one is him to lose at this point.
I mean, everybody's gonna get the same amount of warps, so.
So I think GFE has a little bit more time on Humbug here. So I think this should be GFE's race to lose at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, Humbug has to pick up the big key here, has to go to the boss, kill the Armos Knights, and then get over to Ganon's Pyramid. So, I would say GP definitely in the lead. We're gonna get a hint where the Silvas were just momentarily once GFE gets into Phase 4.
I think it's probably in GT at this point.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So nobody of the runners would have found it.
Not unless you really want silver arrows, then you would probably gone into GT.
Yeah. I think at that point I would have tried doing silverless myself. With gold sword, not that much, not that much worse. And Humbug also picks up the last crystal. Will be probably mirroring back over to Dark World and then safe fighting.
He took one last glimpse on. He just wants, check out Pod one more time.
Yeah, just like, last look around the place. And GV kills Ganon here. Get your GGs in chat for GFA_12. Taking down Ganon. Crossing the bridge. And finishing first on the restream. 6th overall with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 1 seconds. GGs.
GG's indeed, and GFE also getting a new PB on this as well with 4 minutes and 57 seconds.
And the other finishers, for those who are interested, Goomba 90 finishing in first with 1 hour, 16 minutes, 17 seconds. In second, Illos 24. In third, Mr. Scruff Ninja Tuna. Lin taking fourth, and Scion T fifth. So GG's to all of you as well.
And we are joined by V as well, so GG's.
GG.
Hey guys, GG's.
So, how did you enjoy this one?
I would have enjoyed it more if I'd done what I meant to do. When I mirrored from Catfish to Flute to check Saha before going up the mountain. If I had, that would have avoided the full clear ice path. Still would have done everything else, but I would have go-moded ice instead.
Yeah, and since that was hookshot and some RLS, bomb jumps galore.
Yeah, it made it feel a little slow, but you know, Rando's gonna rando a little bit. I'd say there were a decent number getting trolled by the hookshot location anyway.
Yeah. And we have Humbug finishing here as well, second on the restream. GG's to you. Finishing in 9th place with an official SRL time of 1 hour 28 minutes 55 seconds. Getting sort of sniped by Purity Wong in 7th and Etium in 8th place, both of which within just 30 seconds of Humbug, who's also joining us here. GG's Humbug.
Yo.
Hey, GG's Humbug.
Hey, GV. GG.
I just had to wait till after the tourney to beat you, man.
Well, I hope this isn't some kind of a premonition of what's to come in the league.
I fully intend to make it to the playoffs, man. So.
Well, same, and it looks like we will be facing each other then.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah.
So, Humbug, how did you enjoy this kind of, weird ass seed?
It feels like whenever I'm relatively early gambling on AGA, it's never AGA. So, well, it wasn't this time either. It was just a very weird not AGA seed. I mean, did you do AGA, Jiffy?
I was tempted, but actually my Dark World access was Moon Pearl. I had done everything else available except Eastern.
Yeah, mine too, actually.
Okay.
I went to AGA before Eastern, but I also skipped Zora.
Ooh.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I did not expect to find Mirror on Zora. I was expecting to find Moon Pearl on Zora.
To be fair, like the way the items were laid out in the early game, it was very, very could have fooled me kind of Agassi, And considering that out of the 4 restrained runners, only GF did not do Aghanim, but still last location
wow.
the Moon Pearl. It was definitely fool,
One thing that did disappoint me in the seed, I felt very good about avoiding pod and then getting to go mode it, and then I went in there and it was bow locked anyway, so I was a little disappointed about that.
Yeah, I think Aris was the only one who went there early on and found out that it was bow locked, but also good thing because those who did go into pod early did not get bent over there. So that's good. But yeah, this was for being a fast Ganon seed, it was the time is not significantly different from a regular open seed,
Yeah, it definitely was not the fastest of fast Ganon. At least you didn't have to go into Mire. I was tempted, but I never actually checked the medallion, so I just never went back.
It was very close to going into Mire as well. Even without the cane, I thought that it might be the play, but luckily I didn't. I have no idea why I chose to full clear Ice though. Ice Palace was a very dumb choice of me. I regret that.
Yeah, see, I went there after getting my flippers because I had not turned in my green pendant. I actually meant to. I intended to turn in green pendant and then go to Dark Death Mountain, and I completely forgot.
Well, yeah, that sucks. I should have. I mean, the play was to find Fire Rod in. Where was it? Again?
It wasn't blind.
Blind.
It wasn't blind. Yeah, right. To find it there and then just beeline straight up to Skull Woods. However, I did not do that. I should have, though.
I do have a.
Gotcha.
I do have a
I
question.
felt like
for
I
both
was.
of you.
Oh, go ahead.
Since like the hook shot being like on green pendant, if it weren't there and the only options both of you had open at that point was hook shot less Swamp Palace or dipping into Mire, which one would have you both of you picked?
Mire. For me.
Yeah, I probably would have made the same decision.
All right, interesting. Because like I guess there's the likelihood that Swamp Palace is like almost like it was ended up being where there's only like a couple items in the front. But yeah.
I feel like if I have the Mire medallion, it feels like it's pointing me to something. That's probably what I would try to read out of it.
Well, good thing you forgot that what the medallion was, because it was Quake, which is basically the first item everybody found.
Yeah, I just totally forgot to check while I was doing Super Bunny shenanigans to get my pointless fetch quests. Because Mire Shed had book and shovel, and both were complete garbage. Yeah, after I got the Fire Rod, I felt like I kind of had to go back to Skullwoods immediately because I'd already full cleared the swamp, or full cleared the front of Skullwoods, and I knew there were 2 items and the green pendant all in the back. So since I'd already made the dip, I had to go back and collect on that because that's a pretty good chunk of items in the back of Skull.
I think that was the better decision. Whether or not there were any progression there, it would have been the correct decision. I feel like I really made an error there.
I mean, sometimes rando is gonna rando. It's hard to decide which is the better play if you have like these options available, all of which are unattractive.
And I had the South Dark World loop, the Hype Cave, open to me, and I had complete Death Mountain except of the 3 chests in Hookshot Cave that I couldn't reach. So I had a lot of options, and I felt those were good ones. They just didn't give me anything but bottles and a cane of burn or so.
Yeah, I will say, like, the combination of Kakariko and Death Mountain, both being, well, East Death Mountain at least, both being complete garbage today was a little crazy.
Yeah.
Kakariko was not Stackariko, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Not even close.
Not even close, no.
That was something that was even like indeed mentioning Stackariko not being the case this time around was something we noticed as well. And yeah, East Death Mountain, both dark and light, were like there was the 2 gloves that were on the west side in Town Area and Spectacle Rock, but otherwise, yeah, it was like
The only thing was Flippers and Super Bunny, and that was it.
I'm gonna coin the term Lackariko for lack of items.
That works for me.
It's an apt description.
Yeah. Iris, in the meantime, has acquired her last crystal. We'll just have to save and quit over to the pyramid. Actually, Humbug, I have a question regarding that. You walked back into pod before save and quitting.
No, I left my portal too close to the entrance, so
Okay.
it happened automatically. I I knew it was gonna happen when I left the portal there. I didn't mean
yeah,
to.
you did that.
Yeah, I mean it was just like 2 seconds, but it's one of the most annoying things there is.
I was wondering what happened, but I guess it was, I didn't know that the portal could be that close to the door, but now the more you know.
Yeah, if you get too close, pod will just suck you back in.
And that's the reason you can't. It's so easy to mirror bonk when doing that transition in inverted, right?
Mm-hmm.
See, you are so much higher up for some reason in the light world than you are in the dark world. And if you just mirror outside of Eastern to dark world in inverted, you just bonk.
No.
We thought you just wanted to look one more time into pod because you would miss it. So yeah.
Yeah, like that was some kind of a sentimental move.
Yeah. Like I will forever remember you, pod, and yeah, I will miss you.
Yeah, we had a short time together, a very short time, shorter than usual. But it was lovely.
When you're moving out of an apartment, take one last look around. Wait, hold on. Why is Captain Annihilate full clearing pod?
Looking for silvers, maybe?
Yeah, could be.
Ooh, I hope they don't need them, because that's not going to be a fun hunt.
Yeah, considering that they are in Ganon's tower, and
yep, exactly.
we don't even know where in Ganon's tower. That said, Iris finishes off Ganon. Get your GGs in chat for Iris.
Well, before they get in here, I gotta head out. So real quick, just thank you guys for the commentary. Thanks to our trackers, looks like Wind Fox and Irritable Penguin. And thanks to all the Speed Gaming crew who put these on all the time. It's a lot of fun. And get hyped for the league starting on Sunday.
GG's GFE. It was a pleasure to commentate your run here. It was real.
GG GFE. I'll see you in future races.
See you in the league, man.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Take care, and thanks for running for us, Chiefy. And let's see here. Iris Isotheus, I'm probably butchering that second part, finishes in 3rd place on the restream, 19th place overall, with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, 15 seconds. GG's.
A lot of GG's. I know that she was not happy, Iris, with this one.
Oh, yes.
And we are joined by Iris. GG's.
GG.
Well, hello there then. Did anyone ever worse route than me? I know I was running a bit for the memes, but I was not expecting to literally last locate everything.
yeah, we did notice that you were a little frustrated and vented that frustration a couple of times. But to be fair, there was the way the items were laid out in this seed was, typical jerk face rando. So,
I mean, those things were not too bad, at least. We had boots from the start, I guess. Something else? Oh yeah, 4 swords.
Yeah.
4 swords in the light world.
Yeah, we got the first person who got all 4 stars was within 19 minutes. I think that was it. That was you actually. I think, Iris.
Probably, yeah, because a sequence broke my way in the back of Hero Castle, and the glove was somewhere a bit later, I think. Just somewhere down, if I recall correctly.
I got my 4th sword before I got Dark World access.
I mean, I had technically Dark World access to Aga, and I took it, and it was not the solution.
Same.
Oh, I see. You changed your stream overlay there, Iris. So yeah, I mean, honestly, like, there is not much to say about this. It was like weirdly linear, even though there was like a lot of options at all time.
I didn't even stop my timer. I completely forgot. I was too frustrated by everything.
Yeah, we kind of noticed that like you took out your frustrations on pretty much everything, so it was not hard to like see that you're a little bit frustrated.
I mean, I was also memeing, like from the beginning. I was already bombing Sage, voila, like you better not have something. If I knew he did have something, you should have told me when I put bombs on him.
It's like under the threat of being blasted into pieces, he will reveal the item that he's gonna give you. Also, nice quake on him afterwards.
Yeah, there are a few weird things that I don't really explain. Like the quake inside the room, it's caused the noise of slime to spawn, but I'm not sure what happened there. Like, what did I kill to change that slime? I heard a noise, not really sure what happened. In Pass of Darkness, I killed the turtle at the other side of the room, somehow. Not sure what happened there either. There were just weird things a bit everywhere. Not really
some weird stuff can happen with various spells and items, so, you know. And Captain, now finishing here in pod, has not found the silvers they were looking for, unfortunately.
I was expecting to have Ganon tell me, like, did you find the silvers in Eastern Palace? Like the big chest there?
Yeah, that would have been rude.
Because in fact, I finished one palace, I was there like, I have King of Samaya, I'm in go mode. Then I found the boy in Turtle Rock. Good thing I checked this. Because I completely forgot about the existence of the bow. But if it was in Swamp, I would never had a problem.
Yeah, that was, I think one item was left in Swamp left side, because we had, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, it was, I think it was like a God Swamp, except for that compass on Argus, so...
Yeah, I did not even open the 3 chests in the bag, though. Well...
And Captain Annihilate going into Eastern Palace here, so we'll be finishing their last crystal soon. Oh, it was Captain Annihilate who has cleared out Eastern, not Humbug.
I think Captain did everything except getting that big key.
Mm-hmm.
At least we had a good Palace of Darkness layout. Oh, big key! I can't get in there. But when I came later, bam!
Honestly, I feel like most of all of the dungeon scene have been today, been in terms of like their key layout, fairly friendly.
Except Skullwoods.
Well, I mean, Skullwoods is Skullwoods. You know, it's always a mess.
I was trying to go like, yeah, other people will surely not do that because it's dumb. Because it's dumb, you should not do it, but okay.
I'm gonna follow GFE's advice and head out.
All right.
Thank you for the commentating and the tracking and hosting. It's always fun to be restreamed and talk about the seeds about the seed later on. So thank you very much for that. And I'll see you around.
Thank you for being here, Humbug, and GG's again.
Yeah, on my side, I think I will go to sleep because, well, such seeds, exhausting.
That is a fair point.
Try to have fun here. Good luck. Oh yeah, remember the weird things. Paradox Cave with 2 boomerangs, the blue and the red, and with I was just there like, what, is this a memory thing? Is this the card game thing? Not sure, this was just weird. I guess I will see this amazingness in the VOD. Well, I thank you for the commentary, the restream, everything.
Well, GG Cyrus, and thank you so much for being here on the restream as well.
Indeed,
It's cool to
GG's.
It's good to be playing instead of moderating for once.
All right, and Captain Annihilate trying a little bit with anger Armos, but takes him down. Gets their 7th crystal, so we'll be able to go to Ganon now.
Let's see if Captain goes to Ganon or what move Captain will do here.
Yeah, so thanks for the runners who have been here so far. And Captain also got that mirror bonk with the gate into pod. Make sure to follow the runners. Iris Isotheus. That name is just stumbling me up here. Humbug, GFE12, and Captain Annihilate for putting a great show on for us today. And also, of course, give our trackers a follow. Irritable Penguin and Windfox 470. Wow, I think I'm also gonna sleep after this. I'm starting to struggle speaking.
Hey, you're pronouncing the names better than I would.
And of course, also give a follow to Nins and Alex, my commentating here.
I mean, you give one to Red. Red. I'm not gonna say his last part because I suck at saying his name. So
spell it out however you want.
Aramir? I don't know.
And looks like Captain Annihilate is gonna try to do Silverless. Takes a death here on the Fire Bats though, but
That's
has
a safety fairy. Good thinking there.
Yeah, especially since this is phase 3, which that close to the finish. We'll have to be a bit careful though.
No torch clutch though. Should have potions, I think, because we found so many stuff.
When scrolling through the potions earlier, I saw that Captain Annihilate has at least 1 green and 1 blue potion, so it should be fine.
Oh, that's 1 Ganon fall.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. So while Captain Annihilate is climbing back up the pyramid, coming up here on the Speed Gaming Network, make sure to check out at 4:30 Eastern. We are gonna have the Super Mario Sunshine 2v2 Lockout Bingo Tournament over on Speed Gaming Main. Over here on Speed Gaming 2 at 5 p.m. Eastern, we're gonna have the Kirby and the Amazing Mirror Tournament. As well as over on Speed Gaming 3, Super Mario Kart 150cc tournament. If you're into any of these things, looks like there's going to be a lot of Super Mario World coming, Super Mario World and Super Mario Kart coming up as well. And for more daily rando, we're going to have the 9 p.m. daily, which is going to be Fast Friday Casual, early boots fast Ganon as well. Casual, meaning I think we start with the sword, or we get the sword from so it's Uncle Short.
I think you start with a sword. I think it's basically standard. I think.
Yeah, casual is standard. Thank you, Rachel Penguin. And we also have a Final Fantasy randomizer weekly over on Speed Gaming 2 at 9 p.m. as well. So check out those. And looks like Captain Annihilate has decided to forfeit.
That's pretty. I understand if he's not used to doing Silverless Ganon. I understand why. That's a pretty rough spot for silver
Yeah.
silver arrows. Having GT when it's a fast cannon seed.
Yeah, for sure. So, let's see if Captain Light is gonna join us. But in the meantime, yeah. So those Super Mario Kart is gonna be losers finals and winners finals at 7 and 8 p.m. respectively over on Speaking Remain. So make sure to check that out if you like Super Mario Kart. And of course, as mentioned earlier, starting this weekend on Sunday, the Link to the Past Randomizer League is going to start. So that's going to be really exciting. We recently, I think, was it yesterday or the day before?
I think it was the day before. Actually, we had a reveal stream.
Yeah,
with all the divisions and all the runners. So we got 64 teams this year.
Yeah, 64 by 3. That's a lot of people. It's
I think it was like 190 something.
Yeah, I was gonna say like around 200 runners to watch and all their races. Of course, the league is gonna go across like many weeks, so there's gonna be a lot of random coming up.
That's 192 runners in 64 teams.
Yeah. Lots of top runners, lots of new up-and-coming runners. So everything from very skilled to definitely skilled, everything represented. Make sure to check that league out. That's going to be super exciting.
But I don't think our friend here, Captain, will join us.
Yeah, looks like Captain Alai is not going to join us.
So
that is understandable. I guess after being frustrated and like talking about it is, never a good, feeling. So I can completely understand it.
Yeah, same here. It's better just go and wind down and, get your revenge another day.
Yeah. So I think we're gonna go wrap it up here. So GGs to all 4 of our runners. Make sure to give them a follow. Iris, Isotheus, GFE, Humbug, and Captain Alet. Thank you for being on the restream for us and putting on a good show. And thank you again to our crew here, our trekkers Windfox and Irritable Penguin. And of course, my co-commentator Nielsen Alex. It was a pleasure commentating with you.
It's always a pleasure to commentate with you as well, Red. It's always fun. We always seem to have some shenanigans going on.
Oh yeah.
So
we're like the cursed commentary team.
I mean, it kind of feels like that right now. So
right. So make sure to give the runners a follow. Thank you also to all the runners that weren't on the stream. And GGs to all of you. And thanks, of course, to Speed Gaming.
And happy weekend.
Indeed. Enjoy your weekend, folks.